Season 1 of Modern Warfare is coming to a close, and with that, I think we've had enough time to kind of make a decision about how we feel about it, whether or not it was good or whether or not it was bad. And I think overall, real quick, just to say it at the beginning, I think it was a good season. I think it's been a good game overall. That being said, I think there are some things worth talking about that were good and bad. And so let's jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the Battle Pass. I think that the Battle Pass is truly the best content drop in Call of Duty history. They gave that, it was a self-appointed title that they assigned for themselves, but I think that they have successfully earned it. It truly is a great content drop, both I think for the people who buy it and for the people who just want to enjoy the free content in the Battle Pass. However, that being said, before we get into the negatives, I think before, let's really illustrate how good of a deal this was. Let's think about the price of the Battle Pass. The whole Battle Pass was $10, I believe. And you get 100 tiers worth of content. You get 100 tiers worth of content based on the amount of time, the amount that you play the game, your skill level, whatever we're going to call it, that you put into the game. You are given, and it's 100 rewards that you pay for. And so if we're thinking about it like that, in the context of that, that is great. That is a great way to incentivize me to keep playing the game versus the way that they did it in Black Ops 2, which it was $15 for the Peacekeeper, which was a overpowered hybrid assault SMG rifle. And it was the best gun in the game, and you had to pay $15 for it. And that is more than the Battle Pass, and you only get one item. With the free Battle Pass, you get 2 free guns. Without buying anything, you get access to 2 free guns once you achieve the level. So I think if we're comparing it from there, from that kind of aspect, the Battle Pass is a great value. That being said, I do think it is a bit slow of a grind. Now, that does make it a big reward, a very valid, or a very worthwhile reward for the people that did put a lot of time into the game. But I think for the average person who puts a good amount of time into the game, I think I put a lot of time into the game for a casual player, maybe. Not someone who plays the game heavily, not a hardcore fan, but I think someone who plays casually. I play a lot. And I think that I should be further in the Battle Pass than I am currently. As I'm saying this, I don't know. Last I checked, it was 20 days, but that was a few days ago, maybe even. But the point is, we're nearing the end of the Battle Pass. We're more than halfway through it, and I am just over a few tiers past level 50, I think. And so I think I should have been able to move through the Battle Pass a little bit more. I'm not trying. I think maybe if my skill level was higher, maybe I would have an easier time skating through there. That being said, I think maybe it should be more of a time-based reward than skill based, if that is the thing. That being said, I think the Battle Pass is great, and if nothing changed about the Battle Pass, I think we'd have a great Battle Pass to this day. Number 2 being Spec Ops. I think that there's a lot of content in Spec Ops. I think Spec Ops was probably amazing. That being said, I tried it and I never had a ton of fun. It never got me hooked. None of the things that they've added really made me say, oh, I need to jump into Spec Ops. I need to play this more. That being said, there's so much there. There is so many missions that came on the disc, and they've released more. Who knows if they were on the disc already ready to go, they're just now being unlocked. But there's more content coming out through it, and I can't knock it through that. I can't say it's good or bad. It just hasn't sucked me in. I haven't played enough of it. Maybe if I played more of it, I would enjoy it. That being said, I don't see a ton of other people playing it. It's not something I see popular on Twitch or YouTube or anything like that. So I'm not led to believe that I'm really missing out. But the third item on the list are the patches and support that have been given to the game, and oh my god, it has been phenomenal. It is unlike Call of Duty, unbefore seen in Call of Duty history, the support that we've seen in this game, and I'm so thankful for it. Now, that being said, I want to say a couple things that I think could be improvements. I think that there needs to be more vertical audio improvement. It's hard to tell when and where someone is above you. When you hear that someone is above you, the location is very off. You can't tell where exactly it is or what exactly they're on, or what exactly you heard. So I think that there could be a lot of improvement, especially going and switching to playing Counter-Strike more recently, and realizing how that game that is from 2011 has nailed audio so well, that Call of Duty surely could make an improvement with their, I imagine that Call of Duty gets more funding than Counter-Strike does with Valve, and so I am just hoping for a little bit more support in the audio department. There's been a lot of support game across the game as a whole, but just specifically in the audio, I'm looking for a little bit more support. That being said, I think the gun balance is very good for what they have. I think when you're balancing all of the when you're balancing not just the guns that come stock, but the guns from the gunsmith, I think the gun balance is very good. That being said, the stock gun balance I think could be improved. I think everybody has a few guns that they've unlocked pretty far that they've got maybe fully kitted out, but then they play with another gun and they just can't compete. There's no reason to start using it now because it's so far behind in the gunsmith that everybody else is shitting on you with their M4s that have no recoil and no like 100% aiming stability. So I understand that it's hard just because there's so many variables. There's so many variabilities variables in the gunsmith and with the all of the different attachments and guns and kits that it makes it very hard. So that being said, I think it's a very good gun balance, but I'm hoping for a little bit more improvement on the low end. I want a bit of a buff on just the no attachment side of things, and of course I think the skill-based matchmaking is a little bit too strong. I think one of Call of Duty's best balances is its luck balance, where it's not the best player who wins every single time. So that being said, the best way to balance a noob and a guy who's just been playing the game 8 hours a day every single day is to put a couple noobs on that guy's team. That'll really balance things out. So you just put all sorts of different skill levels together on one team, put the worst players in the lobby with the best player in the lobby, and I think we're moving along pretty well. And then what do I want? What is it in this game that I'm looking for? I want more gunfight playlists. I want the 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, and a night mode without lasers, without the laser aiming. I want that to be a playlist. I want more free-for-all to be heavily balanced in these playlists. I want a lot more of it. I want less infected. I want less shoot the ship, less airdrop. Those things aren't fun for me. I think infected was too hard. It was supposed to be a fun party game, but now it's super sweaty in this incarnation of it. And what I really want is old school maps to be imported from previous games, and I want a BR. I think the BR is probably coming midway through the game as a way to bring people back and a way to keep people playing out throughout the rest of the year. But anyway, that's what I have about Modern Warfare. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. You can find my information in the description below. I go live on Twitch if you're interested.